We're live.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody. We are live. Sorry for the 7 minute delay. I know we have a couple people who are already posting comments. We have Carol. Hi, Carol.
Hello. And Jess,
Hi.
hello.
Yeah, I'm going to switch over to I'm going to be looking down because I have my laptop on my lap and I am going to be posting your comments when they come in. So, hi again, Carol. And thank you for joining our live stream. We are 5 minutes, well, now at this point, 8 minutes late because I was running and it took me longer to do my long run than I had anticipated. So apologies for that. I'm going to have Heather introduce herself. She's a dear friend of mine. And I was really looking forward to doing this live stream with her. We haven't done this in a long while. So I'm going to have you introduce yourself, Heather.
So, hi, my name is Heather. I go by running Geek Girl online. And started running when my first kiddo was still a toddler and just kind of stuck with it. And been doing videos just about what I've learned about running, just basic things that I wish that people had told me when I first started running, so that that information is out there for more people. And a lot of my content lately has just been I've been on a hiatus for a little bit, but more of my content lately is how I'm dealing with middle age and just a heavy calendar and just trying to fit running into everything else. So that's me.
And you have been doing something that I am in awe. I have friends who, decided to do this as well, but it's something that I cannot picture myself doing just because I know I don't have the will. You went back to college,
hmm
which is,
I did, yeah.
that's a whole other level of commitment. And
Yeah.
so tell us
I
more about
have
that because I'm sure
because
you have
I have a bachelor's in English and theater with a teacher certification, and I this year decided to finish my master's in theater education. So I've been trying to fit that on top of everything else.
which I'm sure it's a lot. How many hours would you say a week you dedicate to your masters? I'm
Um,
curious.
I'd say at least a couple of hours a day, just meeting with online classes and meeting with study groups and getting the actual reading done and the homework done. So at least a couple of hours a day.
And on top of that, you're a mom as
Yes,
well. You have two
yes. I
kids.
have one that just started junior high, so that's a whole new adventure. And then I have another one who is in the last year of elementary school, so about to move up to middle school. Both very
Right?
interesting ages.
And I'm sure they're active because I follow you on social media as well, and I know that they are active on extracurricular activities. So
Right. They do like science camps, they do theater camps. Both of them are involved in scouting, which I'm involved in as well. I'm a den leader, I'm committee chair for both a troop and a pack. So I do a lot of that with them. So a lot of taking them on trips for that, taking them camping, and so on. So that's another chunk that I have to fit in. And then, of course, since I'm doing theater education, obviously I've been involved in theater since I was a little bitty baby girl. And most of my summer is spent doing summer community theater and assisting different theaters in the area throughout the course of the year, sometimes on stage, sometimes in an off stage role, in an organizational role. So I do a lot of work with that too.
that's so fantastic. It's awesome. And obviously we've been friends for a while now,
Mm-hmm.
and we've been following each other on social media. One thing that I did not know, I have to actually, it surprised me. I know that you're very active when you go to the convention in Atlanta, but I did not
Mm-hmm.
know that you were a speaker. So I saw that on
Yes.
socials and it's like, oh my God, not only she goes, but she's actually one of the panelists. This is like mind blowing.
Yeah, my big vacation every year that or my nerdcation is I go to Dragon Con in Atlanta. I go to other cons around the area, but the big one that I go to is Dragon Con in Atlanta. It's huge. Takes place over Labor Day weekend. There's five host hotels plus the America's Mart for the vendor area. So you're walking all over downtown Atlanta doing this for the whole weekend. It's 5 days long. And I had started doing panels in smaller conventions like Arkansas Anime Con, Blues Con in Memphis. So I started, just doing smaller panels and got involved with the theater and performing arts stands at Dragon Con. We are trying to make that an official section of Dragon Con, but it's a very, very long road to get there. But in order to get there, we just have to show that there's interest. And so a lot of the other groups there, like Animation Group, Alternate History Group, American Sci-Fi Classics Group, they will let us use some of their panel time to hold theater-related panels. And so I started getting involved in those. And so I'm usually on the panel or moderate the panel for two or three of them every time that I go there.
So now I have another. This is a personal question because I was wondering, is your husband like into this kind of stuff as well, or is he just looking from the sidelines?
He mostly just watches me do it. He's like, you go ahead, you do your thing. That's not my crowd, but whatever. And I keep telling him, I'm like, no, you would
Right,
love it
right,
because
right.
like we even have like a Formula One fans get together on the Sunday at the con so we could all watch the F1 race together. And I'm like, it's so much fun watching it with all those people. You would love that. But I've started
Oh,
taking
I
my
agree.
son with me. So he's been getting into the whole cosplay part of it. And so we put together matching costumes and stuff like that. He marches in the parade with me on Saturday. So we have a lot of fun doing
Yeah. I have to say I'm jealous of the, when I see you, a good kind of jealous. Um, I see you I'm just, like I think it's so awesome that you're doing that. Because I think part of becoming an adult is
that.
kind of putting that on the sidelines, like, which obviously you and I are not like that. And, for
Right.
those who are watching this, who've been following me and you for a while, they know that we are just not that kind of adults.
Hmm.
I can separate my very, um, paying my bills and going to work and being serious at work and just focusing on that. And also getting a costume and celebrating Halloween, for example, or
Hmm.
just going to Disney and getting dressed in a costume and just having a fabulous time. I can separate both things and I can be, and both personalities are part of me. So I don't, it's not like one part is like I am who I am because of both things. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's I think when you're an adult, you also have to have that playful. I think that it makes you, at least me, it makes me happier, like
Right.
just having that aspect that's more fantasy and like just, I don't know, living, again, just being playful. That,
And one thing that I've
I guess
noticed
that's
is that for people around our age, it's that we're now experiencing the things that we wanted to do as a kid, but didn't have the resources to do as a kid. So it's like now that we have, the, just the resources available to go out and do the fun thing or buy the fun things. There's people that are like, why do you collect Star Wars figurines? It's like because I've always wanted them, and now I have the money to get them. So it's
right.
there's a whole lot of that. Just being an adult and now having the resources to do the stuff that you wanted to do as a kid. So
Right.
it keeps you childlike. It keeps you happy.
Right. I think it's also something that you can share with your kids
Hmm.
because I mean, it's like going back to, putting yourself at the same level as your kids in a way, because they are into like costumes and like movies, and for them, they live in this world of fantasy, and this is a way for you to actually have something in common with
Hmm.
their world too. which I think is it's good for the relationship with your kids as well. Like you're saying
Definitely,
with
yeah.
some, yeah, yeah. I like for Halloween. I'm actually the only one at this point. Like my son doesn't get dressed up anymore. I'm the only one, and I have been dressing in Princess Leia with like the buns and everything
Hmm.
for as long as we've been in this house, which has been 6 years. And the kids in the neighborhood know that I am Princess Leia, so they all come and they know that I am gonna be Princess Leia, and it's I don't know, it's kind of cool that they know me as the mom that gets dressed as Princess Leia.
Right.
It's fun for me, and I just keep candy, and it's like it just makes my day, honestly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we have Don. Hi, Don.
Hello,
Thank you for
Dawn.
joining us. And
Dawn's been
also,
doing a lot of running lately too.
yeah, I know. And he also recently did. If he's still around, he can post about this. He can put a comment. I think he did. I don't know if it was a Ragnar or maybe it wasn't a Ragnar. We have April.
Hi,
Okay, there
April.
goes that. Yes. April might be working right now because I know she works weekends usually. And we have Jess. And I know you
Yay.
posted a video today, Jess. I have yet to watch it because I've had a complicated morning. Spartan. So Don did a Spartan. So all these
10K. I
people,
knew it was a 10K. Yeah.
yeah. So Don has a YouTube channel. Go follow him. And Jess also has a YouTube channel. So please follow them because they're pretty active on YouTube. Jess has been doing a the 75 hard, which this is another thing that blows my mind. I don't think I could ever do the 75 hard.
Hmm.
Are you aware of what it is,
Oh,
Heather?
yes. Yes. And I
Okay,
just
cool.
don't,
I just
I just don't have the will. I have willpower to get stuff done when I want to get it done, but I'm just like, I don't want to do that.
I I have to say anything related surrounding food, I don't think I think I've always said that if for some reason I'm gonna knock on wood, I can't knock on wood, I don't have anything wood around me. But
Mm,
if I was diagnosed with diabetes, it would be very hard for me to give up on sugar. Not
yeah.
because I eat a lot of sugar, but because I just like eating what like I just don't have any will for
I'm just having to
stand.
check that there's no added sugar in things that you normally eat.
Yeah, I would feel very, I mean, I'm sure I would get it done, but if you have to do it, you do it. But to me, that would be the hardest thing to do. Or if I, had hypertension and I had to cut down on sodium because I just like eating
Hmm.
what I feel like eating. So, yeah. So to me, it blows my mind that anybody can willingly do 75 hard. And she completed 75 hard. She videoed, like she vlogged every day her 75 hard, like how it was going every day. So on top of doing the challenge, you have to video yourself, which is another challenge in and of
Yeah, I've thought
itself.
about doing 75 medium.
Oh, is
I
there
don't
a
know if I
medium?
could do
I didn't know
75 hard.
that. So what's the difference in between the hard and the medium?
Actually, there's a 75 hard, there's 75 medium, and there's 75 soft. Um, and there's a little more flexibility in each level.
Okay. I still don't think I would, if you force me to do something again, food related on purpose, I just don't think I would. Just don't think I would do well.
Yeah.
Which
Because
brings
there's been
me,
things I think I've done on my channel where I've been like vegan for 30 days or letting AI choose my meals for 30 days. So that's hard enough.
oh, I did I think it was only a week that I was like drinking a gallon of water a week.
Hmm.
Just that was like hard because you have to consistently like fill the water bottle and drink the whole thing. And it puts so much, it makes your day so structured that to me that's hard. That's very hard.
Hmm.
So I can be structured. So here's the things I can be structured about. I can be structured about my work. Like when, I'm not working right now, but when I was consulting, I would have my calendar with everything that I need to get done. I was like very like this day of the month or the week, I have to do this. I was
Hmm.
very structured about that. I can be structured about my training. Like I know I have to do this, and this is every day I'm dedicating this time to this. I get it done. But to me, food is just like I just don't like. This is, again, if it was for health reason, I'm sure I would like be mortified, but I would get it done. But to me, that would be like if someone said you can't have wine anymore, you can have a beer anymore, you can't drink coffee because I would be like, yeah. To me, that would be
That's kind of where I am right now
you
with
just
my doctor saying, you know, eat at this time, or this time, need to cut this out. You could eat this at this time, but not this at this time. It's been a real adjustment. My body is still just like, I don't know what we're doing.
So I wanted to ask you about that, and I don't know if you want to. I mean,
Sure.
obviously, if you're not comfortable talking about it, we don't have to talk about it. But I know that you mentioned in your last video that your doctor put you in a specific protocol around like
Hmm.
timing for food and all that. What's the reasoning behind it? Like,
Well, since I am in perimenopause, my body doesn't know what to do with food anymore. Everything is readjusting hormonally inside me. And so I will put on weight and then lose it and then put on some more weight and then I can't lose that. And then suddenly I'm losing weight for no reason and then I'm gaining it. And so my body's just like, I don't know what we're doing because I was just eating the way that I've always eaten. So the doctor told me, he was like, what you would probably benefit from would be like the interstitial fasting. So basically it's now I can start eating at 10:30 in the morning and stop eating at 6:30 every night, and then figuring out where I need to get where my body's going to benefit from nutrition within that time frame, because he says it looks like what you're doing is you're just eating because it's time to eat and not because you actually need it. And
right,
so I'm having to pay a lot more attention to, within this time frame, like what do I have coming up next? What do I need in order to prep my body for it? Like, do I have a run coming up today? Do I have maybe a short run and a workout? Do I have like just a bunch of meetings and a short run? And where am I going to fit the nutrition in along with everything else that I'm doing between 10:30 and 6:30? So that's been a real adjustment because I'm still trying to pay attention to my body and figure out, okay, I'm seriously lacking energy here. How can I fight that tomorrow? But tomorrow I may not be out of energy at the same place because I'll have a different schedule. So it's been a real challenge trying to figure that out. And my body's just been completely sapped of energy. I mean, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that, again, because chemicals are all rebalancing themselves, my antidepressants are not working the way that they were supposed to. So it was like, it took a few weeks to figure out that that's what that problem was. And we have to figure out how can we adjust the dosage. If the dosage doesn't work, how can we, if it works too well, if it doesn't work well enough, maybe we need to change medications completely. And so there's been a lot of experimentation with that in the middle of trying to figure out when do I need to eat and when do I need to work out and when can I work out in the middle of everything going on. So it's just been an absolute logistical nightmare for the past 2 or 3 months trying to get this figured out ever since I went to the doctor and said, just I can't function like this anymore. What am I doing wrong? So
right,
that's where we've been, and we're trying to avoid giving me anything like hormonal or anything like that to deal with it because thankfully the hot flashes, the sweats, stuff like that had not been a problem, but everything else has, and so we're trying to figure out what we can do with that without having to take anything extra.
right. It's because I've gone through it. I feel for you because when I was going through it, I'm on the other side, and years
Hmm.
passed. But when I was going through it, I didn't even know what was hitting me. Like honestly, I would wake up one day and basically I wanted to obliterate the entire world. I could not deal with anybody. It was like I didn't know what was going with like especially my state of mind.
Hmm.
Like I would wake up one day in like a really bad mood and I could not like I didn't even know I was in a bad mood. and it was the
Mhm.
hormonal changes. Like it's like going through puberty, but in reverse.
Right.
And if you are not a woman, for the guys, I know there's guys watching us. If your wives are, or significant others are going through this, or daughters, or any female, at some point they're gonna go through this. Be very patient, because it's really like you don't even know, like you feel sometimes anxious, sometimes super happy. It's like, am I turning into a bipolar? It's really really hard
Yeah.
to, like, because you can't control it. It's like, it's something happening to you. It's not really, it depends on the day. Some days you have a lot of energy, and other days you don't have energy at all to deal with anything or
Mhm.
anybody or even yourself. Yeah. Some days you just want to sleep the whole day, and other days you're like, okay, I could go run a marathon today. Give whatever to me, I can do it.
See,
So,
it was about like when I had about 3 or 4 days in a row when all I wanted to do was sleep. I could not
oh,
handle anything other than sleeping, and I was just like, okay, this is not right. I've got to do something about this.
I have to say though, once you go through it, which takes time, but once you're on the other side, things are a lot better. And it's kind of, it's not overnight, but it's pretty quick. Like you get to the other side, and then you're like, oh my God, I haven't woken up like that in a while. Like I don't feel
Yeah,
like that. Like you're still stable, and yeah. So, but I mean, aging sucks.
yeah.
It
I
sucks.
will say the
I don't
first
know.
hot flash I had, I was just like, what's happening? Am I dying?
I only remember having, I was lucky because I only remember having one hot flash. It
Hmm.
was very embarrassing though, because I was in a meeting and I was wearing a nice dress, because it was like a work meeting. So I was wearing like a nice, not super size, but like a nice dress.
Yeah.
And I remember finishing the meeting and running to the bathroom. Okay, for those who don't know what a hot flash is, I took off my dress in the bathroom, like inside the stall, hanging, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm dying!" And I was like, "Am I nervous? Like, what's going on with me?" And but that was the only one time that I remember having a hot flash. Then I went away. I put on my, you know, dress, and I just, you know, went about my day. But that one time, it's like, what is even going on with me? Like, how can I sweat through my wrists? I remember it's like, how can you sweat through your wrists? Like, this is not normal. What's going on? And but that was again, I've been, because I think it happens. A lot of women have flashes. That's the only one that I remember having, what I
Yeah.
was like really self conscious about it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
but
And
yeah,
it's definitely been affecting my running just because there are some days where I'm just like, I just have to look at myself and be like, I cannot do this today. And I have to be okay with that. There are just some days where I'm just like, there's too much happening. I cannot force myself to do something that my body is completely unwilling to do today. And so sometimes I'm just like, I have to take a day off. Or if I do anything, I'm just going to do 1 mile walk around the neighborhood and I'm going to have to call it good because my body's just not going to cooperate with me today.
right. And I think there's, like you need to give yourself some grace when that's happening, because, and we also have to be patient, because especially when you have a life on social media, there's other people who are going to judge you, and even if they don't judge you, you feel like you're being judged.
Hmm.
So you have to give yourself grace, and when you are looking at other people on social media, you have to give them grace as well.
Hmm.
I try not to, like if someone had a failed run or something, I try not to judge them. I'm not thinking, like you couldn't, I don't know, like if it's raining, like I didn't, some people it's like, oh, I can't do my run because it was raining. Everybody's different. And we are not elite athletes. So
Yeah.
the goals you're giving yourself is the goals you're giving yourself. You can change your
Yeah.
mind,
Like I don't
but
get
you
paid to
don't
do
have to
this.
do
I just do what I do.
it. Right. It's like I was editing a video. The video is going next week. And there's a moment I was like, I have to do 4 miles, and I'm correcting myself. I was like, well, I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Like point blank, I don't have to do anything. I want to do the 4 miles. 4 miles are on my plan. And, I want to do the 4 miles, but I don't have to do them. What's going to happen if I don't do them?
Mhm.
I'm not going to make less money. My family's going to love me just the same.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not like people who follow me on YouTube are going to follow me, like people who really appreciate what I do and who I am, they're going to be on my side anyway. And if they're
Mhm.
whoever's not, well, they're not, it's not, I can't force them to be, and that's okay too. They can go follow someone else because there's a lot of people on social media. So, if I only have to live up to my own expectations. This
Right.
is what I expect of myself, and this is, like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And our bodies. I am older than you are, and we are all in different stages of life. Obviously, being a woman is different to being a man. Men go through their own thing. They don't go through menopause, but they go through other changes. So it's not like,
Mhm.
they don't age. They age as well, and they get slower, and they have to push, through things, and they have their feelings like just like we do. So um, you just, do the best you can, and I'm just someone, who's trying to motivate others to be active, whatever that active means for them, because it
Which
really
is
doesn't, it
why
doesn't take
that's
that
why I took
much,
a break,
right,
'cause, I just wanted to show that, sometimes when it's rough, when it just gets to be too much, when it's overwhelming, it's okay to step back. And I would much rather not put out videos at all than to force myself to put up videos that were not authentic, where I was just making myself make a video just to have one up. I'd rather, show you that if it's overwhelming, it's okay. Just take a break, step back, do what you need to do because taking care of yourself is more important than anything else you're going to put out on social media.
right. And I think it's important for people to see that too. Like,
Mhm.
I applaud that you came out and said, I just didn't, you were so straightforward in your last video. I honestly, I was like, I love this because you were like, I just didn't have it in me.
Mhm.
It is what it is. It's
Yeah.
like, this is so awesome because it is true that when you are, especially you and I have been on YouTube for a while,
Hmm.
and it takes a lot of effort. You don't do it for the um certainly not for the money reward, because
No.
there's at our levels, YouTube is enough to, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't even, like the IRS. I was actually talking about this with someone who's an accountant. She doesn't do my husband and I, accounting, but she does accounting for other people. And she was like, "Well, after $2,000, the government does not consider it a hobby anymore." And I was like,
Hmm.
"Oh, cool." Just this last year, it's not a hobby for the
Yeah.
government. Essentially, because I went over the threshold. It's like, it's just not enough for, it's not, you do it because you want to do it. You do it
Yeah.
because you want to share with other people. Um, and because it's, it gives you a little bit of, it's rewarding for you to have that creative outlet, I think.
And
I
for
mean, what,
me, it's just kind of like I just want to keep track of how far I've come for me. And if anybody else wants to join me on that journey, then I, I I'm glad to have them along. And that's why I'm sharing just information that I learned, stuff about nutrition or hydration and stuff like that, because I want to remember that. That's the best way for me to remember it is to write a video about it and make it, and then hope that maybe somebody else in my position needs that information too.
right. We have, this is, I have to post this. We have Bill Clinton. Hi,
Amazing.
Bill. Hi. He's in Arkansas too. And he likes your headphones.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you, former President Bill Clinton.
she's had them for a while. I remember the first time we did that live stream, you already had
Mhm.
them, right? Unless they are different, they're the same, but new ones.
I think I had some other ones that were like black and they lit up. That was
Oh,
from our
actually,
first live
yes,
stream.
that's true. Yeah, when we did, with Paul, We used
Hmm.
to do the Masters of the Universe, the Masters
Masters
runners,
of YouTube,
yeah, the Masters of YouTube.
way back in the day.
Yeah, that was a ways back. So let's talk about Ragnar because I want
Yeah.
to talk first about Ragnar and then we can talk about Dopey.
Yes.
So how's Ragnar? Like, first of all, which one are you running? Because I know there's
I
different
am
kinds.
running, it's part of the Ragnar Road series. This is the Bourbon Chase. It takes place in Kentucky, running through bourbon country. It's a point to point, a lot of hills because it is Kentucky. And we run through a lot of places where smaller distilleries are, and through a lot of small towns and everything. We are fielding a full team of 12 runners, which we were worried we weren't going to get enough. But so that means I only have to run 3 legs. And we've already kind of totaled up our time and realized we're not going to get done within the actual time frame that Ragnar wants us to be done, but we're just going for the experience anyway. So yeah, we got our vans. We've picked our theme. Uh, we're doing a pirate theme.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, our team name is Here for the Booty, and so yeah, we're getting ready to do that in less than 2 weeks, I think. So
So is the training for Ragnar different to training for any other race?
um, it's not that bad. It's kind of like I run 3 legs, the longest of which I believe is about 7.5 miles. My shortest leg is about 3.5 miles, and I'm going to get like 9 or 10 hours in between legs because I have to wait for everybody else to run their leg before I run my next one. So it's mostly just about being able to cover your longest distance and to be able to handle hills since this is a hilly course. So that's kind of where we are. But you get a really long break in between. We actually rented an Airbnb that's at the halfway point. So when we're not running, we're just going to hang out at the Airbnb, um, use all the leg massagers and nap and snap and everything, and then drive to our next point. So that's our plan. But yeah, it's just about getting together with a team and just really the experience. We're going for the party.
Right. I have a friend who did it. I was actually a backup runner at that point because there was one of them got injured, so they asked me, "Would you want to do it if she can't do it?" And I said, "Sure." But they were roughing it up because they had a van and they were sleeping inside the van.
Hmm.
I was like, I mean, I'm up for anything. I was like, oh, sign me up. But in the end, I didn't have to do it because the other lady, she actually could run it. I would have loved to, though. It was like, oh,
Yeah,
count me in. Like, not sleeping and running. Ah, this sounds amazing. Like, just staying 3 days without sleeping.
exactly. And it's 200 around 200 miles or so, and your crew is going nonstop, so you're running all day and all night. So in some cases it makes more sense to sleep in the van depending on the race and where you're headed. Um, but for us, we just figured out if we have an Airbnb in the middle, then we've got that option.
Right. I mean, and there's all different kinds of like Ragnar races because I know I have a
Mhm.
friend who did one where they were actually running around like a campsite. So they
Yes,
were
Dragon
sleeping in
Trail.
tents and they were just running around. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that's
that's where you have 3 loops, and the starting point is at the main campsite. And so each runner takes a turn with each one of the loops over the course of the 36 hours.
yeah.
There's one that's here in Arkansas that I would love to do. There's also a really good one in Texas that I'd love to
I'm game for any of these things, which brings me to April actually saying we need to do a Ragnar with a crew, you know?
do.
We should totally do this. Like just again, I'm game. I'm game for anything that means like in Dopey, it's like you're not really sleeping. It's just
Right.
like so.
If you do Dopey, get used to getting up at 3 in the morning.
Oh, and not sleeping. No, you don't do a lot of sleeping. So Don is asking, how many Ragnars have you done, Heather?
This is my first Ragnar. It's been on my bucket list forever. This one specifically has been on my bucket list because everyone I've talked to, I've talked to like 3 or 4 people that have done every Ragnar available, and they have all said that this is by far their favorite one. So I'm looking forward to that. During the pandemic, I was a captain for a virtual Ragnar team. So they had us do Ragnars, and we just kind of on a messenger app just tagged each other throughout the 36 hours, and everybody ran. We had decided how much everybody was going to run ahead of time, and so we did a Ragnar that way. So I've done a virtual Ragnar. I'm doing this road Ragnar. Now I'd love to do a trail one.
Yeah, again, and doing it virtually actually sounds like a good plan too. We could
Mm-hmm.
actually do like something with, like announcing it on our channels and do like a Ragnar. That's
Yeah,
actually
because then
an idea.
you can choose like whether you want to run on a trail, you can run on a track, you can run in a neighborhood, you can run in a park, just however wherever you want to go to get your allotted miles done.
Right. And when I think it was during the pandemic, I did the what is that? Oh God. I did a video. I filmed myself. It was the 20 miles on 20. What was it called? The one, the David Goggins challenge.
Yeah, I
I
remember that.
I was thinking about doing it again because I had a lot of fun doing it.
Hmm.
It was, and it was 4 miles, 4 miles every 4 hours for 24 hours,
Yes,
I think it
it
was.
was like a four by
Yeah,
four by 20.
4x4, 4x4 in 24, and it
Yeah.
was it was actually a lot of fun because it's like you prove to yourself that you can do it,
Hmm.
sort of thing. I don't know. It's fun to do those things. And then Don is saying that has been on a bucket list for me, but haven't been able to find a team to participate with or build one on my own. This is, you know, it's hard to find because I wanted to do one of those tough mothers, and I could not find a team to do it either. Like, and I know people who run, so it's just, people are busy, and sometimes they don't, even if they want to do it, they just don't have bandwidth to train for it, or yeah, or maybe that day they're out of town or whatever it is. So it's hard to get people to sign up for this because also the larger the team needs to be, the larger, like everybody has to like sync up their calendars to do it. So how many people are on your team, Heather?
Um, there are 12 of us on the team, and then we have 2 drivers.
So see, that's like 14 people. You have to, everybody has to be coordinated. So
Mhm.
yeah. April saying, Muddy races are my favorite. I get the sense that April she's like me. She's like, I'm game for anything. April just,
One of the best trail races I ever did was, one that was put on by Texas Outlaw Racing that was here called, Feel the Burns, and because it takes place at Burns Park, and that it had rained. I mean, just absolutely poured the night before. Like, there were trees down, because we had a huge storm, but they held the race anyway. And I'd say about 2/3 of that trail, we were climbing over trees that had fallen on the trail, and then we were hiking through knee-high mud and water to get through everything. And I had pictures put up where I was just like covered from my like mid thigh down in just nothing but mud. But I finished that race. There were a lot of people that dropped to a shorter distance and everything. I was like, nope, I am doing the whole thing.
oh, that's
It was
awesome.
it was one of the best experiences though.
Yeah, I've only done one trail race in my life because I've mentioned this before. I have an awful sense of direction in the wild.
Oh, me too.
I can get lost. Like if you put me in a city, I find my way around even without a GPS. Like I know where I am. But if you put me like all trees are the same or
Mhm.
trails are the same, I don't know.
Yeah, if I have
By the way,
landmarks, I'm okay. Like if you tell me to turn left at the Dollar General, great, I got that. But turn left at the tree, I can't do that.
it's just like I can't even picture like some of the trails have like paintings, like they
Mhm.
put like yellow color. Yeah, I just do very poorly. So I did one with a friend of mine and his girlfriend, and it was a lot of fun because when you're doing trail races, a lot of it is just walking,
Right.
or at least we were walking a large portion of it because
Yeah.
we were chatting and like, but it's just so fun. Like, I don't know, like just going through the woods, and this was
Mhm.
a very technical race too because we had a portion that was like just rocks.
Yeah.
So I had a blast, but would love to do another one, but I have to go with someone because I know I would be the one that, like
Just
I
wanders
would be
off
on
into
the
the
news.
wilderness.
I am sure I would be on the news, like trail runner gets lost and the helicopters are in the Pocono Mountains just looking for this woman who happens to be from Spain. I'm sure that's what they would mention. Like a Spaniard got lost in the Pocono Mountains.
I've been very fortunate in that every trail race I've done so far, they've marked the trails really, really well, which is good for me.
Oh, this
Although
is
I'll
supposed to.
panic if it's been a little bit and I haven't seen a flag somewhere. I'm just like, oh, am I in the right place? And then like 500 feet away, there's a flag. I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, I think like I have to get more comfortable because I think eventually I picture myself doing more trail races,
Mhm,
especially if eventually we move back, we move to Spain eventually.
mhm.
Um, there's a lot of trail running in Europe, but Spain is like the paradise for trail running. Like
Yeah.
there's trail races everywhere. Um, and there's a lot of opportunity to run trail as well.
Mhm.
So like I would love to like get out of my comfort zone and be able to get more comfortable. I don't know. Maybe it's a question of like, I'm sure the phone, like if you have service, the phone can tell you where you are, like
And
generally.
we have new trail races popping up here all the time, thankfully, because in Arkansas, there's plenty of trails and places where you can do that. So I get people sending me races all the time going, have you heard of this one? I'm like, nope, that's a new one. I got to check that one out.
And I also think it must be, well, I don't know if it's easier, but I think it's, in terms of the permits, if you have to
Mhm,
put a road race, you have to talk to the township. And I think if it's a trail race, I mean, there's obviously someone that approves that race,
mhm.
but it's in the, it's in the, it's just a trail. So
Yeah.
it's, you,
And
you
that
don't need
if
to
it's a
stop
trail, it doesn't
traffic.
have to be like an exact distance because 10K is 10K-ish. It's around 10K.
10
It
miles
could
is
be 8
10 miles.
miles and it's a 10K.
Right? And also you can get lost. Like
Yeah.
what the one trail race I did with my friends, he had done it, I think 2 years in a row. So we were like, okay, we'll follow you. So we were following him, and at one point he was like, I don't recognize this. I think I took a wrong turn. So we ended up doing like a mile two more, which is fine,
Oh,
again, because we're
no.
not racing anybody. So, but yeah, we end up like we appear in this road, and he's like, I don't think we're supposed to be in this road. Like, so yeah, it's really funny. And there was another guy that was like, you guys are on the wrong. You're not supposed to be here. It's like, okay, we'll just turn
I've done that
around.
a few times on a road race. It's like, you're going the wrong way. It's like, ah, dang it. I missed a
Oh,
turn.
I have an anecdote about that. When I was training for Philadelphia Marathon, the first time I ran it, which was my second marathon. I was training with a friend who was running Marine Corps. And Marine Corps is like, I think it's 6 weeks before Philadelphia, but we were like kind of running. I think my long runs were shorter. So she was running longer, but we generally were like meeting, and then I would be doing like 12 and she was doing 14 miles, whatever.
Mhm,
So we met in Princeton and we did a route that I haven't done again. I did it with her. Haven't done it again, but it was go like out in the, like sort of in the countryside. And we were running and then we see there was a race, like a 5K. And like, it was like through the woods. And she's like, oh, so cool. We're hitting a 5K and we're running. And we see this guy pass us flying, like he was part of the 5K and he's passing us. And I hear my friend saying, dude, this is not part of the course. He saw us and he thought we were
oh,
part of the
no.
race. So he actually did. He turned around and went back because he took it the wrong turn. He thought we were
Oh,
part of. We were racing too, and we were not. I wasn't even aware. Like my friend was like, "Dude, you were we are not part of the race. You're in the wrong." Because she knew the area, so it was interesting. And then we felt really guilty. It was like, "Oh my God, well, he probably was winning. I mean, he
Yeah.
would have won. I don't know if he won or not, but yeah, because he saw us and he was like, "Oh, these two women are running now. I have to follow her." We were not going fast, so you know, he busted
To be fair,
flying.
I probably would have done the same thing.
Oh, I have a I was talking about this on the Dopey chat we have
Mhm.
going on, but this was early on in the Dopey chat. How we dream of running sometimes. I have this recurring dream, and it's just it happens really often. Like out of a month, I probably dream 3 times that this is happening. So I'm in this race, and it's always the same race, and they have distances, okay? And it's
Mhm.
10K, half marathon, and marathon. And I'm trying the marathon every time in my dream. I'm like,
Mhm.
what should I sign up for? I arrive there to the table. I'm like, I'm gonna do the marathon. Like, yeah, you can just do a marathon.
Right.
Like,
You
but
could
I'm
just
in a dream.
decide to
I'm like,
do one.
I'm just gonna do the marathon. I'm feeling good today. So I sign up for the marathon. They give me my bib. I put my bib, and it's super vivid in this dream. And I'm like running the marathon, and I'm like going so fast and like looking at my watch. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna finish this marathon. I'm I'm gonna PR. And then I get lost. And in every single dream, I get lost.
Hmm.
And it turned into a nightmare because I can't, I can't like I can't finish. Like I wake up, but I haven't finished the marathon. But I wake up feeling so like, oh my God, like so bad about it. So one of these days, I'm gonna finish the marathon in the dream.
You'll
I keep
finish your dream marathon someday.
waking up. Oh my God. It's funny because in the dream, I go through the same kind of like turns and like it is so real and vivid.
Mm.
It's scary. It's like every single time it's like, oh, and even myself in the dream, I'm thinking, in my last dream, I didn't get here. I'm further ahead. This time I'm gonna finish the
I made
marathon.
it further this time.
And then I get lost again. It's so weird. Yeah. And I think that's part of my, like I really want to get faster at the marathon, and I don't know if this is ever going to happen. I'm thinking at this point, who knows? But like my best is New York City Marathon 2021, which is
Mhm.
4 years ago already, and I did 4:45. I would love to, like, of course I would love to. If I run it a little bit faster than the 4:45, that would make me so happy. But who knows if it's gonna happen? It's like I've had a couple of 4:47s
Yeah.
after that. So it's like I was kind of like almost there, but not quite. So
Oh, I seriously doubt I will ever run a sub 5. That's just not how I run.
I've seen it happen. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be me, obviously, but I've seen people get faster even in their 60s, like
Mm.
run, if you have a good see the thing with marathons, they are very unforgiving. I don't think people realize this. Like you can train for a half marathon, a 10K, a 10 miler, a half marathon. And if you get sick in the 16 weeks you're training, you can still do well at your half marathon. But if during your marathon you miss a couple weeks in there,
Mhm.
the marathon is so freaking unforgiving.
Mhm.
You, like you feel off. Your body feels off the week before a marathon. You might just like your marathon is might not go well. I mean, everything has to line up. Like all the stars in the sky need to align for you to have a good marathon. It's so easy to just, when I ran Atlantic City Marathon, I had a great training block. I didn't get
Mhm.
sick. I was doing all my runs. My biggest week, I think it was 62 miles, which for me, it's like I didn't get injured. I didn't get sick. I was doing great. And then the week of the marathon, I had this GI distress
Right.
basically like 3 days leading into the marathon. I was going to the bathroom every like 40 minutes. I was completely depleted of all my electrolytes, all my sugar, all my so when I arrived to the marathon, I did I mean I didn't do super I mean did 4:47, but really I should have PR'd, but my I don't know what happened to my body. I was like why is this happening to me?
So if I remember right, your body just held on to all the electrolytes and all the water and everything.
Oh,
And
that was in wine glass. That was another
oh, that's
one.
a wine
Oh my
glass.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, for marathons, I've had, well, I can't say that I have good luck for my races. There's always something that happens. Even for my last 10K that I ran in Madrid,
Hmm.
I was texting my friend Tristan. I said, "You're not gonna believe this, but I have a cold." The week leading to the 10K, it's like, how did you, like, I'm not even like, I'm not working. I'm just on vacation. How can you get a cold on vacation? Well,
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
I can get a cold on vacation. So I just don't want to miss. So Don is saying that has been on a bucket list for me, but I haven't been able to find a team to participate. Okay, so I think I posted this before. We have a more. Okay, April saying, I still feel guilty for not staying with you at Atlantic City. Oh,
Aw.
and this is another one. I was running the Atlantic City Marathon the second time, so this was last year. And I hit the wall. I want to say it was mile 8 or mile 9. So I wouldn't have even been able to finish the half marathon that day. And I was feeling fine. But when I started, I just hit the wall. I don't know what happened to my body, but it was so bad. So bad. I actually texted April. I was like, where are you guys? Because I can come running with you. Like I can turn around. Like I can just do the half with you.
Oh no.
Oh, it was really bad. So this year I'm doing the half for Atlantic City Marathon. I really want to do the half, and I love those races. Honestly, I really like the Atlantic City. I really like how they put together the race, and they do a phenomenal job. There's only two marathons in New Jersey right now: the Atlantic City Marathon
Hmm.
and the Jersey City Marathon.
Right.
Jersey City is in April, Atlantic City is in October. So I'm not gonna do the full. I'll do the half, but I really want to do, well, hopefully in
And
a
I
half.
think Dawn is proposing that we do a West Virginia Ragnar next August.
We could actually get something going on. Just
We
wear like
could.
I run things team or something. Get t-shirts, matching t-shirt. I mean, I can get the t-shirt,
We could do that.
and we could do it. Yeah, I mean that would be fun. And actually, April is in Virginia as well, so we have a couple
See?
people there. Yeah. So now let's talk about Dopey.
Hmm.
I know you were looking to hopefully find a volunteering opportunity to volunteer at Dopey. Did you find anything?
No, I'm just going to be spectating and hopefully dressing up for spectating. So,
Are you going to spectate all of them or just the marathon?
hopefully all of them.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. Because we're doing obviously the 5K, the 10K, the half, and
Right.
the full. So yeah, and we're gonna need extra hands for the margaritas because that's my.
Exactly.
I was actually like, I think this is probably the last time I'm doing marathon weekend.
Hmm.
Number one, because it's an insane amount of money to do
Yeah.
Dopey or to do the marathon
And
weekend, any
it's so
races.
early every single morning.
I don't, like people complain about the early. I'm okay with the early, to be honest.
Mm.
I mean,
Not me. I'd rather sleep in.
I wish I didn't have to wake up at 1 in the morning, but I'm okay. It's like 4 days. It's I can do it.
Yeah.
But the insane amount of like money you have to pour into the weekend. Um,
Because just the races themselves are expensive. And then you have to also pay for travel. You have to pay for accommodations. You got to pay for your food.
yes,
If you're doing
it's
costumes, then you're putting money into those too. It's very, you can see why people will do just marathon weekend and then nothing else for Run Disney the rest of the year.
I mean, everybody has, I can't judge what people are doing with their money, obviously, because it's your money. You do whatever you want with it. But I think if you do this, you don't have any other. We almost don't have other hobbies, like you like going to the Disney races. I can totally see that, but then
Yeah,
you don't do the
if
things,
that's your happy place, that's what you spend your money on.
right? So because you work to make money, and you make money, and then you spend in the things that give you joy.
Yeah.
Then I totally support the work hard, play hard, motto. I'm one of those people. But to me, it's just like with the amount of money you put towards Dopey that weekend, you can do a cruise in Alaska. I
Mhm.
mean, honestly, you do like a full week cruise in Alaska, for example, which is also very nice. Because it's it's like it's a good 5 grand when
Mhm.
all told, you're 5 grand in, and it's 5 days. You have to go a day before and maybe leave a day late. It's like five
Right.
6 days. Yeah, so there's a lot of money. I just wish, and they've been like going up in price, which obviously everything is. Nothing's getting
Yeah.
cheaper, but it's just like it's just. And the year we did Dobie, I have a really bad experience with the amount of crowds in the parks because we went to the parks 3 days, I think it was,
Mhm.
and we couldn't ride anything because the parks were so full.
Mhm.
I remember saying they are really pricing me out, not because of the price, but because of what I can do with the money that I just spent. Like I'm
Mhm.
spending $140 and I rode two things and
Yeah.
everything is full of people. And so if I'm gonna spend $140, I want to do a little bit more with it. Like it's just like it was so saturated but then I actually the day that I went back to the airport. I had an Uber pick me up at the hotel. And I asked the guy, the Uber driver, why is Orlando so full? And he told me that there was a convention. So he said that's probably why there were so many people at the parks because of the convention. Not so it was like marathon weekend plus the convention.
Right.
He said they just had like 40,000 people at the convention alone. So I think it was. I mean, this weekend might be different because I think
Yeah.
it's possible. I keep like seeing like promotions and offers. So I think that they probably have seen it like a more like pullback in
Right.
attendance. I'm gonna guess. Also, Universal opened another park
Right.
because
Because they've got
yeah.
Epic Universe now.
So now people are probably so there's more stuff to do right now. So
Right.
and also I think I read somewhere that they are gonna add a lot of other attractions like rides and like restaurants, new areas to Disney.
Mhm.
So I think if you are a family that needs to think about when are we going to go, you might just wait a couple years to go and then go
Right.
now because they're going to be opening so much new stuff in a couple years, like in a year and a half, that you might just decide to
And to be honest, it'll
go
take a
then.
couple of years to save up enough money to go because those family vacations are not cheap.
Oh, it's just like every single time. So we've been with my son, I want to say 3 times, and all 3 times it was patchwork. Like I pride myself on like going on Expedia and looking at
Mhm.
offers and like all 3 times it was patchwork. It was like, okay, what's like the most affordable thing? Where can we, it's like we can go here, and then like, yeah, like I budget for stuff. Like I don't know the
Mhm.
impression that people have of me on the, obviously on social media, but I do. I'd rather spend 300 than 400.
Right.
Wouldn't anybody? But like there's some people who are like, I just want to go and I will go, and I'm not gonna wonder. No, I'm not gonna worry about the price. I worry. Like I'm like, okay, if we can leave the following day, can I pay $50 less? Like
Mhm.
I actually budget for that.
Yeah.
So every single time we've been to Disney with my son, we've been like budgeting. I mean, the first time we took him, we went to it was a motel, and we really we're not in the motel that long because we only went to sleep. But it was like crappy place. He doesn't remember because he was 7, but he was like crappy. Like I remember my husband walked in and he was like, "Man, this is crappy." I was like,
But it's cheap.
we're only gonna be here at night, so who cares? But I remember going to bed and my husband was like, "Smells funny." Like he was that kind of place. It's like, oh my god. But we took my son and we had fun, and it was, but again, we were like, because I was like, I think we can do it. I told my husband, I think I can do it for like 5 grand.
Mhm.
He was like, well, you can do it for 5 grand. It's like we were budgeted. I was like, I bet you I can. Like I was just like trying to like adding on Expedia. I didn't think it's like, dang it, I 5,100. Let's go back and yeah, yeah. So So yeah, I mean, there's certain things that we don't budget. You know, it's like, okay, this is the one time experience, but yeah. And the last time we went to Disney, my husband was like, "Do everything you want to do now because we're never coming back." And it was like, "You're never
Sure.
coming back. I am coming back. Sorry, but I am so coming back." Oh
Oh,
man, yeah. I don't even know. So when did you? Because I know you. Is your do you have a family member that works at Disney? Don't you?
yes, yes. My sister and my brother-in-law both work for Disney. So they live maybe 30 minutes away from the parks. So usually I'll just stay with them. So that saves money right there.
Well, yeah. If I had my way, honestly, I would put a little bit of, like a retirement when we retired towards buying something in Orlando, if I had my way. It could be like a studio or something,
Oh yeah.
because when you go to a hotel, you don't have that much space anyway. So it's like, okay, in my mind, if we had a studio, we can just pile up in the studio and just. But then you would have the opportunity to, because I think from Florida. I mean, Florida is a nice state.
Yeah.
I like Florida. I mean, there's areas that I don't like, but most of Florida, I think it's nice. Um, so, like, like a Siesta Key or a Saratoga, Orlando, those are places, but more than anything else, Orlando. I think Orlando's, if you have a place there, you can, I don't know, go 3 times a year or something and really get a lot of bang for your buck, because then you have your room is, you have it there. You don't have, because that's a part of it is hotels are so expensive in Orlando.
Yeah.
It's, it's really, really insane. So, well, I hope you can join us for
Yes.
Dopey. Yeah, my
So
cleaning is.
without giving away completely what you're dressing up as, can you tell us the themes for the costumes that you are
Oh,
wearing?
I don't think I could. I don't know that I could. So we're doing a medley. I guess that's the best way to put it. Some, so we're doing all four, but for two of them, we're going straight characters. So we are the characters we're recognizable. For the other two, we're medley. So it's a mix up of themes. But I do think, well, would you say they are recognizable? Like if you see
I
us
would think so, yes.
on the course, it's like, oh, they're making a mix of this and this.
Yeah.
Because that's really what we want. So hopefully people, see it as we see it. And I have to give, all the credit to Lynn, because when we did when we did the marathon at the beginning of the year, it was Tristan, Lynn, and I, and we were like, "What should we be for Dopey?" Like, and I mentioned both themes, kind of like as a wild. Like I said, we could be for this race, we could be this and for this, but I was like kind of playing around. Honestly, I didn't think she was gonna say we can do that, but she jumped on it like because she's the one doing all the costumes. She's sewing all the costumes, which it's very generous of her because she's so talented. I mean, she is incredible with costumes. So, but yeah, she was like, "Oh, we can do this," and she looked online for like inspiration, and I mean, they're gonna look fantastic. I have seen her, so I have tried on mine,
Mhm.
and I can assure you, I feel like $1 million with the costumes. I mean, I put them on. I was like, oh my word, this is like high, like I don't know, like super, super
Just
cool.
seeing the pictures of what she's worked on so far, I think everybody's gonna be very excited to see these in pictures and on video when Dopey comes around because she is really going the extra mile and putting these together.
Oh, she's just very talented. She's very creative. Um, and she also has the skill set. It's not only the vision; she knows how to sew them, like cut them, sew them, and everything. Um, so yeah, and we are gonna, like for the 5K and the 10K, we're gonna stick together. So
Mhm.
if you're there, you're gonna see us
Mhm.
because we're gonna be very recognizable. And then the half and the full, we're not gonna stick together. So the half, Carol and I are running the half and the full together.
Mhm.
And April, Tristan is running the full with her daughter, but Tristan is running the half with Lynn and April. I think that's the plan.
Mhm.
So
'Cause I know everybody's kind of planning on different paces.
yes, and I don't know John. I don't think John joined us, but John, he might be able to run with Carolyn and I. It's just that you know how the corrals go in Disney that you never know
Yeah.
what corral they're going to sign you to. So yeah, I think Carol is going to be in a good corral. I might
Mhm.
be right after, like in a. I think it could be corral B. I think she might be corral A because she's fast.
I was gonna say
So
that's the speedy folks.
yes, yeah, she's speedy. I think she has a 152 for the half. So, and I have a 203. So I think she's going to be ahead. Well, she's going to be ahead of me, definitely. So she would have to fall back to run it with me. Now, where's John going to be? I don't know where he's going to be. He might be further.
Right. Because I know you're allowed to move back a corral to be with someone, but someone can't move up a corral to be with you.
And there is a huge difference for, so when we did Dopey, I ran the half and the full with Carol, and we were in corral B for both. There's a huge difference in between being in corral B and being in a further back corral
Mhm.
because when they tell you to go and start running, like when you cross the start, if you're like in corral D or E, you're gonna cross the castle in daylight.
Yeah.
But if you're like in corral B, it's dark when you
Yeah.
cross the castle. Like so you like there's a lot more space. Like we ran the half was different, but the marathon, we were alone. Like there was I'm not alone, but there was so much room for us to run. And that
Right.
when you're running a marathon, it's nice because you're not like so close to other people. Whereas if you're like in a D, E, F, you're like it's bumper to bumper, like you're
Yeah.
so close to other people. It's very hard if you want to speed up a little bit. You have to kind of run with everybody, like in sync with
Mhm.
everybody else. It's a lot more
That's
uncomfortable. It's
usually
very
where I am. I am very, very mid-pack.
but what the year in 2022 when you were there, you
Mhm.
passed Tristan and I. Like I remember telling Tristan, "Oh wow, where's she going? She's going
I was
super
on a
fast."
mission. I was gonna get done.
Yeah, you went so fast. I mean, I was super happy for you, but it was like, oh wow, she's
And
really
what's
like.
funny was it wasn't until I got after it was past the halfway mark, and I was like, "Why am I going this fast? This doesn't make sense."
It's this is one of those races where you might. It depends on your goal. So you might. Some people say, I want to stop in all the characters.
Mhm.
Take pictures with all the characters. I want to stop just in this one. Like a lot of people just want to stop at the castle. Um, it just like other people are like, okay, we're gonna stop if we see this specific character. Which when we ran the marathon in 2025, I told Tristan,
Mhm.
if Darth Vader's there, I'm stopping,
Yeah.
and I stopped. So it's like I'm not. I'm sorry, but this is like non-negotiable.
And that's how
Uh,
I was. I was like, I saw Piglet, and I was like, "I have to stop and see Piglet. This is important to me."
yeah, when I did Goofy, I ran the half with Lynn, and she was like, the only character I need to stop at is if we see, and this was like a weird thing, like the pink bear from Toy
Mhm.
Story. I
Yeah.
forgot the name of the bear. But what are the odds? Like we're almost at the finish line in Epcot. Like
Yeah.
we're in Epcot, and the bear is there, and she's like, "Oh, I need to stop." And he's like, "We're at half a mile," and she's like, "No, I need to stop." She was like, "You can keep going. You can keep going." I was like, "No, I'll stop with you." I mean, at that point, it's like, but he was like, it was like the last character. Yeah.
That's like,
So
"Nope, we're stopping."
yeah, she was like, this is a non-negotiable. If the bear, the pink bear is there, which he has a name and she knew the name. So
Yeah, well, I mean, it's, Lotsa, and, you, like, never see. Lotso in the park. It's like very,
Oh,
very
that's
rare.
right. That's Fatso. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Oh, we need to stop. Lasso's there. And you know what? The thing is, we stopped for the picture. It's the best picture with any character I've ever been. Like, we look so happy,
Mhm.
and the pink bear is there. I mean, it's just like a perfect picture. It looks fake. It's so perfect.
Hmm.
Like we're so yeah. Like the like the photographer took us like it's like they dropped. I don't know. It's weird to explain. It was just the perfect picture. Yeah. Okay. April saying running Dopey with friends has been on my bucket list, and Lynn's costumes are a dream come true. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I can't wait for everybody to
honestly,
see these because the costumes really are amazing.
yeah. She's. And what I told her about mine, I went this, and she did it, and I was like, oh my god.
Mhm.
She is so very talented. I mean, yeah. Pretty amazing. So I'm hoping to be able to make the trip to her apartment. She lives like 50, 60 miles from me. So
Hmm,
I'm hoping I can go see her one weekend and I can try
that'd
mine,
be awesome.
like look and touch them and try mine. Because I have tried them, but she was not like they were like more in the concept.
Mhm.
Oh, but she's so good. They're gonna be incredible. I hope we make it to some Run Disney, if not the website, like, Instagram or something, because she deserves the credit. It's not us,
Totally.
like she is incredible. I told her, like if you, she's a dentist, but I told her if you ever can work as a dentist, you could totally make a living out of making, you know,
Just making Disney costumes for
making
people.
Disney costumes. I mean, there's people who, when
Just open an Etsy store.
I ran one year with, I think it was 2023 when I did the half and the half and the full. The full I ran it with this skirt that was given to me as a gift from a store on Etsy
Mhm.
because she it was basically she did it for a customer, and the customer, something happened with the payment, so
Yeah.
she didn't ship it to the customer. So she was like, it's not your size, but if I can take it in, and if you want to wear it, just all I'm asking is that you um tell people on Instagram and on YouTube that it's my design, like it's
Yeah.
my. So I did, and I wore it with that. And I remember people actually during the marathon asking me, like, where's your skirt from? Where's your skirt from? Because I told everybody where the skirt was from, which she changed names recently to a different, but it was like a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful skirt. And then my friend Jennifer wore that for the marathon the following year.
Aw.
Yeah. And those skirts they're like $100 and something.
Mhm.
So, if you have like a costume for Dobie, they're expensive. They're not,
Yeah.
you
There are people
know,
they'll drop a lot of money on costumes. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Which is understandable because again, I go to conventions where people cosplay and they'll, you know, spend a couple $1,000 working on one cosplay for the year.
again, you work hard. You're allowed to spend your money whichever way,
Yeah.
gives you joy. So,
It's like if you want to spend a couple of $1,000 just so you can be Iron Man for the weekend, then go for it.
so when is your Ragnar? 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's the first weekend of October.
Okay. Are you planning on recording?
Yes. And I'll have to check with the other members of my team to see if any of them would like to be on it, but I will definitely be in there and showing everything that's going on. We've come up with a team shirt that we're all going to be wearing at the beginning and end. We've been compiling little pieces of pirate costumes to wear throughout the race. Um, our drivers have agreed to wear eye patches for pictures. So we've got that.
Oh my God, that's a lot of fun.
We found
Oh,
magnetic pirate flags that we can stick on our van. So
oh
we're
my
looking
God.
forward to that.
So is there like a theme for the race?
There's not, but typically in a Ragnar, you come up with some sort of a name and theme for your team, and you stick with that for the entire weekend.
Oh, wow.
And
See, I didn't
somewhere
know
along the
that.
way, we came up with pirates. So that's what we're doing.
We were pirates for the 5K when I
Uh,
did Dopey. Yeah, we were pirates. And it was kind of, I mean, it is, we just wore regular pirate because it's a 5K, so it's not like you need to be super comfortable. So we just purchased, well, Lynn had her own, she made her own, but
mhm.
Tristan and I, we purchased, like from the Halloween store, we
Yeah.
purchased costumes. And I remember going on the bus and people were saying like, "Oh, I like that." There was a woman who was very loud. She was like, "Oh, I like those." It's cool to, when you're wearing something so recognizable that people, obviously they know you're pirates. So
Right.
yeah, so it is a cool thing to be. Okay, I don't know if anybody has any questions right now. Don left. He said, "Gotta go for
Yeah.
now." Yeah, he left a little while ago. And April, I don't know if April is around anymore, but if anybody has questions, guys, you can get them in right now. We still have people watching the live stream.
So do you plan on running all of Dopey, or are you doing run walk strategy?
Oof. So the 5K, it's all of us running together. So it's one, two, three. I think it's seven of us running together, and we want to stick together. I think we're just gonna whatever, probably walk a large portion of it. The 10K, it's one, two, three, four, five of us. We
Mhm.
want to stick together as well. So we kind of have to determine what that rhythm is going to be. And then the half and the full, Carol and I were thinking that the full we're going to run and walk for sure.
Mhm.
And the half we might want to just run all throughout, run straight. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see because I think um, it is so our goal is we're going to try and PR for the marathon, which is crazy. It's crazy.
But it's good to
We'll
have
see.
a stretch goal.
We have a goal. We have a goal. So because the year that we ran it together, so here's what happened. So we finished it in 450, which
Mhm.
was a PR for her, and it was an almost PR for me. So if
Mhm.
we had actually pushed a little bit more, I could have PR'd as well, which I'm not mad about because we really didn't know. We just crossed the finish line. My Garmin stopped working, so I didn't even
No.
know. I didn't even know. And she was like kind of keeping the pace. She's a great pacer. Like Carol, oh my God, she's just a wonderful pacer. She
Mhm.
sticks to a pace, for sure. Like whatever pace you stick to, she's just like clockwork. I don't know how
Mhm.
anybody can be that like systematic. So we were keeping our pace really pretty, like very, very like on pace. And she said, at one point, she was like, we were like on mile 16, I think. She was like, we're gonna finish in 450. But to me, it was like, okay, 450. I didn't even think about it. I was like, okay, you're gonna PR because she, that was a PR for her. And I'm like, okay, you're PRing. But I didn't even think like because in my mind it's always like running marathons, you slow down towards the end.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't, like we ended in 450. So when we crossed the finish line, I asked her, like after crossing the finish, like, so how did we do? And she was like 450. And I'm like, oh, congratulations, you PR'd. And then I was like, so we did 450, huh? And I was like, like, so our goal is we definitely want her to PR. So we want to go under the 450. But if we do well, I could PR too, which would be under 445. So we'll see. Because obviously, if you're running the 3 days in before, you have to see how your body's feeling.
Right.
Um, but she, Carol is something. She's such a great pacer. I
Yeah.
mean, she is. I don't know. Like honestly, I don't know how anybody who's not an elite runner can pace themselves so well.
Yeah.
Because she could feel like she was like this last mile was slower, and then she would check her watch and it was like we're 10 minutes slower. Like she could like I don't know if I'm 10 minutes, then like 10 seconds slower. It's not enough for my body to really notice it.
Right.
I don't know, but she knows. Like, yeah, she's like really good at that. So hopefully we can PR. Okay, Rash is saying I run 3:30 and walk with 30 and do this cycle continuously for 5, 7.5 kilometers. And he's doing 7:24 per kilometer. I'm a beginner. How can I improve my speed? Glad if you suggest anything. Okay, so to improve your speed, intervals, and depending on the race, right? Wouldn't you say like intervals? Like I mean, like 800-meter reps. If you're doing long distance, like a half or full, I would do 800-meter reps. If you're doing
Hmm.
shorter distance, I would do 200, 400-meter reps, like as fast as you can.
Hmm.
5 reps, 6 reps. Yeah,
Yeah, and start transitioning to a slightly longer run cycle and slightly slower walk cycle. And keep in mind that when you walk, you are trying to get somewhere. Okay. When you walk, it's not slow walking, it's you're walking with a purpose. So just kind of start making that transition, like, you know, maybe 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, 10 seconds on each side, then 20 seconds, and then 30 seconds to the point where you're running 4 and walking 1, and see how that works for you. But listen to your body and, you know, push yourself, but don't strain yourself.
right. And I do think that if you slow down on the walk portions too much, you are actually eating a lot of like you're becoming overall a lot slower. So you
Mhm.
have to find that rhythm where you're like you said, walking with a purpose.
Yeah.
Because you
And it's
could
hard
walk,
to get back into that run cycle if you slow down too much when you're walking.
yeah. Because you could walk 17-minute miles, or you
Mhm.
could walk 15-minute miles. And if you do all your walk portions at 17-minute miles, you are a lot slower than if you're walking your walk portions at 15:30, for example. So it is an art, but
It
that's why I
takes,
was
yeah, it
saying,
takes some
yeah,
experimenting.
it takes experimenting. And the beauty of the run walk, in my experience, is so for me, I ran Marine Corps Marathon. I tried to run the whole thing. I couldn't because I hit the wall at mile 22, I think. But I was running till mile 22, and then I hit the wall, and then I did a lot of walking. I
Mhm.
slowed down so much that last portion, I ended up running Marine Corps Marathon in 5 hours 23. For my following marathon, which was Philadelphia, I decided to do run walk. And I was doing 5 minutes running, which I trained my whole long runs were 5 minutes running, 1 minute walking. I did on repeat, like every Sunday, it would be like all my runs were like that. So I was very familiar, like my body knew what to expect. But I was doing the walking, that minute walking, they were with a purpose. Like I was
Mhm.
trying to go at a good clip. It was not to slow myself down. It was with a good, at a good clip. And when I arrived at mile 18 at Philadelphia Marathon doing the run walk, I was so fresh. I ran the rest of the way. Like I didn't have to do the walk portion. So I finished in 4 hours 57. So it
Yeah.
was like like I flipped the switch. Like
Yeah.
for Marine Corps, I tried running and then I hit the wall. For Philadelphia, I did the run walk. And then at mile 18, I was like, I'm feeling good because I was like really feeling good at mile 18. So I just ran the whole way. I remember passing like my last portion was faster in like my pace was faster than the other 18 miles
Mhm.
prior to that because I was feeling good. I didn't like, that was the secret. I had a phenomenal marathon. So much so, I passed the pacers. Like I was behind. I was with the 5 hour 10 pacers for the whole race, and then
Nice.
I passed them, and I came like right in front of the 5 hour pacers. So, which makes you feel so good about yourself,
Yeah.
when you've been behind and then you pass, the pacers. But yeah, I would rush. I would try to do if you're running like 4 or 5 times a week. I would have one run, just do some speed there.
Mhm.
Just do 400-meter reps, 800-meter reps at like as fast as you can make them, because that gives your legs. First of all, it makes your legs happy, I think, But it also makes you faster because you're like the turnover of your legs. You learn how to run faster. If you don't
Mhm.
run faster, you never run faster. That's from my perspective.
Yeah.
I think it's good to mostly, do most of your runs easy, yes, but you have to have that speed in there because that's how your body learns to deal with it. Otherwise, you
Mhm.
never experience it. So, and we've been, live stream for an hour and a half. So I don't know if you guys have more questions. If you don't, we're probably gonna get it. We're probably gonna log off.
And if you're
And I'm
watching
gonna,
after the fact, then you can always drop questions down in the comments and we can answer
yes,
you there.
that's a good point. That's a good point. Don't forget to go follow Heather. She has two channels now. She has Running Geek Girl, and the other one is, I think it's your name, or is it?
The other life. Yeah.
Yeah, I follow you on both. So I'm a huge fan of yours. I've always been. I always thought you had a very unique perspective on things, but also very smart perspective and intelligent. When you did your reviews on what was that up? I did a review too, actually.
Was it Zombies Run?
The Zombies Run, yes.
Yeah.
And you did
That's
you
still one
did
of my
one.
most watched videos.
Oh, mine too, actually. It is a cool app. I haven't used it lately, but it is a cool app. And you did other, like the walk as well. You did
Mhm.
other app reviews there. Yeah. I always thought you were really pointed, like very again, I mean, there's something to be said for, I think you're very your communication, obviously you're doing theater. Aren't you an English major? Are you an English major?
Yeah, my undergrad was in English and theater.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I am an English major, but I always thought your communication skills were like so good. Like you communicated like when you did reviews on things, they were so well done. So,
Well, thank you.
so I appreciate that a lot. Yeah. Okay, and Raj is saying thanks for the response. Thanks to you, Raj, for watching the video. We appreciate you and we appreciate everybody that joined. And I'm
Mhm.
gonna have Heather give her information again.
Okay, so again, you can find me on all social media under the name Running Geek Girl. So I'm here on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on Strava. Just look up Running Geek Girl and you'll find me.
And go follow her for her Ragnar recap and her vlog when she puts it out. When she puts it out. And thank you so much, guys, for joining us on this Sunday. I know you could be anywhere doing many other things, but you chose to be here. So we
Yeah, you're
appreciate
hanging out with
you a
us.
lot. We love you. And I love you, Heather.
Love you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.